Miles to go, everyone. Welcome to the second part of federalism. In the first part, we have learned about what is federalism, what are the key features of federalism, and what are the different types of federation. Now, as we know that there are two types of federation, coming together federation and holding together federation. And India is an example of holding together federation. But India is also called a quasi federation or quasi federal state. Let's understand why. In India, the central government tend to be more powerful than the state. Very often, different constituent unit of federals are having unequal powers. We can understand this with reference to Jammu and Kashmir, where Jammu and Kashmir till 2019 holded a status of special state. Now, there are some states where government do not participate in the decision making of the state, but there are some union territories where the decision making rests with the government, the central government. That makes India a quasi federal because somewhere the power is divided among center and state, and at some status, some states, central government holds the power, as in case of union territory. Now let's understand what makes India a federal country. India has emerged as an independent nation after a painful and bloody partition. Soon after independence, several princely states became a part of country. The constitution declared India as a union of state. Although it did not use the word federation, the Indian Union is based on the principles of federalism. The constitution originally provided for a two-tier system of government, the union government, or what we called as the central government, representing the Union of India, and the state government. Later, a third tier of federalism was added in form of panchayats and municipalities. The constitution clearly provide threefold distribution of legislative powers between union government and state government. Thus, it contains three lists. Now let's understand what these three lists contains. Let's start with the first list, and that is union list. Union list includes power of national importance. It includes subject of national importance such as defense of the country, foreign affair, banking, communication, and currency. They are included in this because we need a uniform policy on these matters throughout the country. The union government alone can make laws related to these subjects. The second state list is the state list. State list contains subjects of state and local importance, such as police, trade and commerce, agriculture, and irrigation. The state government alone can make laws related to the subjects. The third list is a concurrent list, which includes subject of common interest to both the union government as well as state government, such as education, forest, trade unions, marriage, adoption, and succession. Both central government and state can make law on the subject mentioned in the list. As we can see that we have three lists, but there is another list which is added to this is residuary list. Now, what is residuary list? Now, when the constitution was set up, there were few subjects which come up after the constitution was made. So such subjects were included in residuary list like computer hardware and software. Union government has the power to legislate on these residuary subjects. Now, when we were talking about the power sharing between union and state government, there is the structure of the constitution, how the power is shared between union government and state government. Let's understand this. It is not easy to make changes in the power sharing arrangement between union government and state government. The parliament cannot on its own change this arrangement. Any change to this, it has to be first passed by both the houses of parliament with at least two-third majority. Then it has to be ratified by legislatures of at least half of the total state. Then only this power sharing can be changed. Now let's understand what is the role of the judiciary. The judiciary plays an important role in overseeing the implementation of constitutional provision and procedure. In case of any dispute about division of power, the High Court and the Supreme Court make a decision. Union and state government have the power to raise resource by levying taxes in order to carry out the government and the responsibilities assigned to each of them. Hence, the judiciary act as the guardian of Indian federalism.